All the tools in America's vast military arsenal serve specific purposes, but one of the most effective in deterring aggression has always been the deployment of heavily armed ground forces close to conflict zones. These troops, backed by years of experience and cutting-edge equipment, stand as a visible warning to adversaries. In the current crisis, the United States has opened the gates of its arsenal once again, this time in full support of Ukraine. After a call with Vladimir Putin that left him frustrated, Donald Trump chose to respond not with more diplomacy, but with decisive action. Though Putin presented himself as cordial during their conversation, the reality was starkly different. Hours after their discussion, Russia launched its largest airstrike on Ukraine since the war began, a move that the US interpreted as a direct provocation. Donald Trump responded with force. For him, supporting Ukraine isn't just about backing an ally, it's about preventing a broader Russian offensive that could threaten US interests down the line. Almost immediately, he announced a surge of military aid, marking a strategic pivot that signaled a no-nonsense approach to the Kremlin's aggression. Among the weapons being delivered are the F-16 fighting Falcon jets. These versatile aircraft are capable of ground attacks and air superiority missions, giving Ukraine both offensive and defensive capabilities in the skies. Also on the list are MQ-1C Grey Eagle drones, high-endurance aircraft that can stay airborne for over 24 hours and are equipped with AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. These drones provide Ukraine with crucial surveillance and strike abilities, especially in contested zones. The US is also sending Tomahawk cruise missiles, which can strike targets up to 1,600 kilometers away with pinpoint accuracy, even in heavily defended areas. To bolster air defenses, the US is deploying additional Patriot missile systems, advanced batteries designed to intercept incoming ballistic missiles and aircraft. These systems are expected to serve as a crucial layer of protection for Ukrainian cities and critical infrastructure. Long-range artillery support is coming in the form of 155 mm M777 howitzers, known for their mobility and precision. Together, this package forms a formidable defensive and offensive network that may shift the tide of battle in Ukraine's favor. This drastic military buildup comes after a notable shift in Trump's own strategy. Weeks before the Russian escalation, he had cut back weapons deliveries, urging Ukraine to pursue diplomatic avenues. He publicly stated that diplomacy should lead the way, that wars must end at negotiation tables, not battlefields. But Russia's renewed assault changed the equation. Trump reversed course, ordering a comprehensive military aid package, signaling that the time for talk had passed. This shift is consistent with Trump's long-standing strategy of unpredictability. From his earliest days in office, he made it clear that he wouldn't follow traditional geopolitical playbooks. Instead, he would use unexpected decisions to keep both allies and adversaries on their toes. Now, in a moment of global instability, he has doubled down on that doctrine, sending a message that unpredictability is not indecision, it is power. Repeated diplomatic outreach to Putin had reached a dead end. Despite numerous calls and offers to de-escalate, Putin remained firm on his objectives in Ukraine. Trump's conclusion: the Russian president only understands the language of strength. Thus, the new wave of military support isn't just symbolic, it's a calculated move designed to impose costs on Putin's ambitions. Trump has always said he wants to end wars, not prolong them. But, as he now believes, sometimes peace requires firm boundaries. The situation isn't isolated to Ukraine. Around the globe, tensions are mounting. Israel continues to face threats from Iran, and Taiwan remains under the looming pressure of Chinese military maneuvers. Each of these flashpoints presents a challenge to the current global order, and the US leadership knows that staying on the sidelines is no longer an option. Strategic silence risks inviting chaos. Putin's motivations, in part, stem from NATO's recent expansion. The accession of Finland and Sweden into the alliance has deeply unsettled the Kremlin. For Moscow, NATO's proximity to Russian borders is viewed not as cooperation, but as encroachment. This fear likely fueled Russia's decision to invade Ukraine in 2022. More than 3 years into the war, Russia has made gains, and should they solidify their position, the consequences for European security could be catastrophic. This is precisely what the US is trying to prevent. The military aid now pouring into Ukraine is designed not only to help push back Russian forces, but also to send a clear message: further aggression will not go unanswered. American leadership understands that if Ukraine falls, other nations may be next. The domino effect must be avoided at all costs. Inside Ukraine, the arrival of American equipment has been a morale booster. Soldiers on the ground now feel better equipped and more prepared to repel Russian advances. Trump, meanwhile, is presenting this surge as a smart investment in global stability. He argues that failing to act now could invite far more dangerous confrontations later. Letting Russia win, he believes, would signal to other authoritarian regimes that the West lacks the will to defend its allies. Meanwhile, the Kremlin continues to justify its war with claims of national defense. Putin says NATO's reach threatens Russian sovereignty and insists that blocking Ukraine's entry into the alliance is a matter of survival. This narrative is pushed both domestically and on the international stage, as Moscow seeks to justify its actions to a world growing increasingly critical of its war campaign. Domestically, Trump's decision to increase military support is also aimed at solidifying his image. By standing firm against leaders like Putin and Xi Jinping, he reinforces his campaign message that he alone has the strength to keep America on top. As the election cycle ramps up, this assertive stance plays into his broader narrative of global leadership. The path forward remains unpredictable. More weapons and aid will likely intensify the conflict in Ukraine, not ease it. But with Putin showing no signs of backing down, the US and its allies are left with few choices. Containment, rather than reconciliation, appears to be the immediate goal. What is certain is that the US military-industrial engine is now fully engaged in the conflict. From drones and jets to artillery and missiles, the tools of war are in motion. Ukraine's resistance has become not just a national struggle, but a frontline battle for the future of international order. At this point, stopping Putin means more than defending Ukraine. It means preserving the global balance before it tilts into chaos. Here on UK Logi, we continue to monitor and analyze these major developments, providing you with in-depth coverage of the world's evolving military landscape.